All right, so where do we start? Well, let's start at the very basics, which is the actual phone. Now, if you already have an iPhone, you've already been using an iPhone, some of this stuff is going to be repetitive and you're already going to know it. But our goal here is to make sure that everybody gets on a level playing field and we're calling everything the right thing. So if you know the stuff, go ahead and skip on to the next one. But if not, let's go ahead and take a look at the iPhone itself and some of the things that you're going to see just from the phone. Now, I'm actually using an iPhone 5S with the iOS 7, or the most recent operating system on it. Now, there are some differences between the 5, the 5S, the 4, and the 4S. I'm going to cover some of those as we go through this. But the basic functionality and the basic buttons are all the same. And I'm going to start by talking about the button here at the top, which is my sleep and wake button. Now, you'll see that my phone is on. The sleep-wake button, if I press it, puts my phone to sleep. It's my quick way of getting it turned off. Want to turn it back on? I just press it again. We're going to find out later that that button does a whole lot more than that. It allows me to turn it off. It does some other cool, neat stuff. But one of the things that Apple has done is they've taken a very simple design, the iPhone, and maximized each and every feature of it. So that you're going to see as we go through this, as we go down that path of enlightenment to become enlightened iPhone users, that the sleep-wake button does more than one thing. We're going to see all of our other buttons do more than one thing. Which draws me to the next set of buttons. Down the side here, I've got two circular buttons and a switch, basically. Now, these circular buttons have a minus and a plus on them, and those are my volume controls. Obviously, plus, increase, minus, decrease. Apple doesn't try and make this rocket science. So you can see now that you're already becoming technology savvy. We're going to see later when we talk about photography that these buttons do more than just increase or decrease the volume as well. So getting back to that concept of one button, multiple functions, depending upon what it is we're actually trying to accomplish. The other switch that we see here that kind of goes up and goes down, you can see me switching it here, is my silent mode. It's the switch that allows me when I go into a movie theater to turn my phone off so that it doesn't make sounds. So it'd be the big advertisement, turn off your phone. That's what this is for. When we're doing this, we want to make sure that it's going to still vibrate. That's something different than being in silent mode. Because what silent mode does, it just turns off noise. It doesn't turn off notification. And as we go through this, when we talk about those customizations later on, those are some of the things that we can do. We can actually set it up so that it doesn't make any noise or any vibration. So when you're sleeping at night, you don't want that midnight text to actually wake you up from your sleep. So we'll talk about that later. So again, we have the volume buttons and we have our silent switch. Moving down here to the bottom, we've got a couple of things that are focused in here. And this is one of the areas that we have a change from the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 4. In both of them, this is where we're going to find our speakers. So both in the 4 and the 5, this area down here at the bottom, these dots that you see here, are actually the openings for the speaker when we hear noise from whether it be music or whether it's our speakerphone conversation or alerts. Those are all coming from down here. One change that happened from the 4 to the 5 is this circle here. On the iPhone 5 and 5S, this is the opening for our headphones. So whether I'm listening to, Beats by Dr. Dre, or whether I've got the standard earbuds that came with your iPhone, this is where the plug is on the iPhone 5 and the 5S. On the iPhone 4, it's located on the top on the same area as the sleep-wake button that we talked about before. So once again, if you've got a 4, it's on the top. If you've got a 5, it's on the bottom. Pretty straightforward. The other major change between the 4 and the 5 is in this sync or charging cable location here. If you have an iPhone 4 or the older version, there's a wide 32-pin connector which goes into this. Well, you can obviously see that's not a 32-pin connector. So what Apple has done is they've come up with a brand new cable, and they call this cable the Lightning cable. Looks something like this, pretty straightforward, and it just slides in. And the other end is a USB connection that allows me to connect to my PC. This cord does two things. It does the charging of the phone, or charges my battery. What it also does is it allows me to sync or communicate with the computer moving forward. So again, that's the bottom that we're seeing there. I then want to take the phone and move it over to the back. Just like it sounds, it's the back of the phone, so there's not a whole lot here. But if I draw your attention up here to the top, there are some functions that are available, or some things that you need to know about, so that when you're taking a photo, you don't inadvertently put your finger behind it and get a picture of your finger. The classic SLR, put your finger in front, take a photo of your finger. This circle that you're seeing here is the camera that you're going to use in taking most photographs. It's what's called the rear-facing camera. Next to that is a little pinhole. This little pinhole is a microphone. It allows me to record sounds when I'm taking video, because in addition to taking photos with this rear-facing camera, I actually am going to be taking video with this rear-facing camera as well. And right next to that, this white area is actually a flash. Now here's another difference between the 5 and the 5S. The 4, the 4S, and the 5 all have a single flash. It's like you would normally see on a regular camera. Click, flash, I get to take a photo in the dark. What the iPhone 5S brings to the table is they have actually two elements inside this flash. One of them is your standard, hey, flash, there you go, take a picture in the dark. The other one is used for color correction. So if you are at a party and you see somebody with a great pink dress, you want to make sure you get the right color of pink because you want to go out and buy it. What this color correction will do is actually fill in the light so that you get an accurate representation of the color. So again, that's something that the 5S brings to the table. Beyond that, there's not a whole lot here. Little self-promotion. There's the Apple logo. You're looking at an iPhone. If I flip this over and take a look at the front of this, there are some additional buttons or openings that I want to draw your attention to. I'm going to start here at the top. The top little circle that you see here is actually a front-facing camera. Yes, Apple has been smart enough to say, you know what, I can take a photo out the back, but I can also take a photo in the front. This becomes very important when we start doing things like FaceTime or video chatting. I don't want to have to keep turning the phone around to talk to somebody if I'm video chatting with them. Well, the reason is I want to have it sitting at me so they can see me. I'm looking at the screen, but at the same time, I can play Angry Birds because I'm not really interested in what they're saying. You get the concept there. It allows me to actually be looking at my screen and video chatting at the same time, or FaceTiming at the same time. The opening just below that, which is sort of a rounded rectangle, is my speaker when I'm on the phone. It goes up to my ear. This is how you typically hold the phone when you're having a phone conversation. Because that opening is the speaker, it allows me to hear what's going on. And where is it actually collecting, or where's the microphone or the handpiece? Well, it's down here at the bottom. The microphone is also in with the speakers, so I can actually collect the sound from my mouth coming out as well. The last button that I want to talk about is this button right here at the bottom. This is my home button. Now on the 5S, which is what I'm using here, this home button is black. Well, it's black for a reason. It has a functionality which we're going to talk about later, which is actual fingerprint recognition. When I put my thumb or my finger or whatever digit that I want to use for my security, it's actually going to be able to read the fingerprint and actually use that as a security measure to make sure nobody that's unauthorized gets into my phone. But the other functionality for the 5, the 4S, and the 4 is all the same. It's my Back to Kansas button. There are a lot of functions associated with this button. The one that I want to draw your attention to is back home. So if I am in the middle of playing Angry Birds, or I'm in the middle of a FaceTime session and I realize I've got to do something, I can hit that button one time and it will take me back to my home screen so that I can find my next application or my next thing that I'm trying to accomplish. It does more than that. And we'll see that as we go through this. The home button is more than just the home button. But really, that's the basics. So once again, if you've used an iPhone before, those should be pretty standard to you. If it's your first time looking at an iPhone and wondering what is all this stuff that I see, there's your explanation.